All right, all right. Here we go. Here we go. Richard Greenop, how are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good, good, good. All right, so let us get right into it. Um, you incorporated boxing into your like regular training program to help your performance on the ice. How can you say that boxing helped you on the ice? And we're going to talk about the fighting thing. Definitely going to be talking about that. But just other than that, how can you say that boxing helped you on the ice?
It helped on full on with mainly my cardio and hand-eye. Also confidence because you could go into any situation, at least you knew how to protect yourself, things like that. But also your eye hand and your footwork and everything else, like it all incorporates and it keeps you on your toes. And it's always nice to train and do something different that you're not like when you're training hockey at high levels, like you live, eat, sleep, breathe hockey. Like
Yeah,
you got to mix something else in there because you're just going to
right.
wear yourself out. And by the time the season's coming to an end, you're not even excited for the next season. Like
Exactly.
you know what I mean? It's just too much.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that I talk about too is that it's not just boxing doing something for fun, but doing the specific stuff that's going to help your performance. So you're doing something else other than your sport that's still going to help you in your sport, right?
Yeah,
Um,
even my trainers in Toronto, like they would let me take days off of their regular training when they knew I was doing MMA training.
mm,
And it wasn't mainly well, it was easier for me just to go and do the MMA training. It was they knew I was getting a workout,
yeah,
and and it was something that I was more interested in because I
yeah,
was really losing my focus in hockey and everything else. So
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, so out of all, like you did some boxing and the MMA, of course. How could you say which out of all the boxing exercises, though specifically, which one would you say helped you, or which one, yeah, was transferred the best to your sport?
Uh, I would say what helped me transfer the best to my sport, I'd say, was the pads when we were doing hockey specific pads. Like when you and I would break off and just do boxing, I always enjoyed that more.
Yeah,
But when we would tie up and do like single pads, almost like a hockey fight, like you would incorporate that with me, that
exactly.
always helped a lot. But I found for me personally, what helped me the most when it came to boxing and MMA was more so the mirror workouts, like just face myself in the mirror and going that way with form because that
Practicing,
that
yeah,
was the biggest help for me.
practicing the technique over intensity is what I always emphasize, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Now, specifically with the fighting, how like when did you realize that was your main thing being the enforcer? Like, when did you realize that like, all right, this is my role. I'm the guy on this team that's doing this. Now, obviously, you were a skilled player too. You weren't just on the team to fight. But when did you realize that this is what you're going to be doing?
I knew before I even came to Windsor. Really, to be honest with you, like I was in junior in Oshawa, wasn't quite in Windsor yet, and I was on a team with a coach that didn't really want to play me at all because you're only allowed two 16-year-olds per team,
Mm,
and he was an old school coach. You're a rookie, you don't really get the ice time, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was 16, and I just started grabbing 21-year-olds and fucking shaking them around. I made a quick name for myself, and then I had heard rumblings that when I go to Windsor, that they're tough coaches, they're tough management, they're all tough guys, and they love the role. So I knew
Nice.
when I was going to Windsor what it was gonna be. I was already full on invested in it, and I was already training, and you know
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
my dad always said, you're not going to get charged and get thrown in jail for fighting on the ice. So you might as well grab somebody on the ice, right?
Good way to think about it. Um,
Yeah,
I was listening to you on my boys podcast, my boy Drake on the Win City Sports
yeah,
podcast. You were telling the story about I'll let you tell the details of it, but you and another player got into a fight, and then you guys went out to dinner that same night.
yeah. That was Baldwin, Ryan Baldwin. Yeah, we at the time when I was staying at my billets, it was training camp. I didn't have a car, so guys would help each other out and get each other the rink. Well, me and Baldy kicked it off during workouts and shit like that, and he came picked me up. He drove me to the rink, And then I had my first big fight. Like they had some guy come in, and I'm pretty sure that was the fight that, you know, whoever won that fight was going in for the team. And then after that, they had known Baldy to be tough. So they said, go and shake him around, like see what he's got. Like, I'm like, you serious? I'm like, he drove me to the rink this morning. They're like, I don't fucking care. So they threw me out on the ice, and me and Baldy squared off. My mom videotaped it. There's tape them somewhere. And then after the ice hockey, he drove me back to my billets, and it was his mom's birthday that night. So we went to Jose's. We went to Jose's. We got pasta that night for birthday dinner, and I met his family. And then once a week from that day on, Vicky Baldwin made a spaghetti dinner. Even after he got traded and went on, I still went to his parents for 2 more years after he got traded and went on. And his parents fed me once a week, every Tuesday or Wednesday it was, whatever one we switched to. But
friendship through fighting. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, they were amazing people. Amazing people.
That's good, man. So after seeing the benefits of how boxing like helped your performance on the ice, how do you feel confident in recommending that all hockey players incorporate boxing into their training programs?
Oh, absolutely. Not even hockey players, just anybody in general. Like even my 4-year-old son, like he's not that interested in hockey, and I'm not into pushing him, right? Mm-hmm. But you bet your ass you'll be in jiu-jitsu. You bet your ass you'll be in Muay Thai. You bet your ass you'll be in boxing. You'll be in something. Because you know, it's what teaches them discipline. It's what teaches them how to be a good human. You know, not going to look for fights, but knowing how to protect yourself 100%. And having confidence if you're ever in a position where you are in the last resort and you know you're backed into a corner and you got a few guys or something, you get your back up against the wall so nothing's coming behind you and start swinging. But you know, it's just one of those things that you want that confidence, right? You need it. And even for hockey, like guys on the ice, like guys that aren't necessarily fighters, there's gonna be a time where somebody's chomping at the bit ready to come get you. So you might as well know what you're doing beforehand.
Exactly. That was all the boxing related questions I had. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Do you have any announcements or anything like that? Anything that you're up to these days?
Not really, man. I just live a normal life now. I got a daughter, a son. I got another baby girl on the way.
Nice.
We just bought a house out in Quinny area. And yeah, I'm sewer and water main foreman for Todd Brothers, a company out in Stouffville, Ontario.
Nice.
I'm a normal life. I can probably still throw them though. But.
I'm sure you can. Still got that old man strength now, right?
Yeah.
All right, Richard. Well, thank you very much for taking your time to do this today.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
We will definitely keep in touch. Bye, dog too. All right, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, man. Take care.
1, 2, 3, smack that thumbs up for this video. Smack